Is there a principle from the Levitical tithes and firstfruits that still applies today? Let's look at 2 Chronicles 31. How did Hezekiah begin his reformation after the second Passover? At the conclusion of all these activities, everybody in Israel who was in attendance traveled throughout the cities of Judah, broke down the sacred pillars, cut down the Asherim, and broke down the high places and altars throughout the territories of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh, until they'd eliminated all of them. Then the people of Israel went back to their cities and back to their work. How did Hezekiah set an example of generosity towards the Levites? And Hezekiah appointed the courses of the priests and the Levites after their courses, every man according to his service, the priests and Levites for burnt offerings and for peace offerings, to minister and to give thanks, and to praise in the gates of the tents of the Lord. He appointed also the king's portion of his substance for the burnt offerings, to wit, for the morning and evening burnt offerings, and the burnt offerings for the Sabbaths, and for the new moons, and for the set feasts, as it's written in the law of the Lord. Did Hezekiah reinstate the giving of firstfruits and tithing? Did God bless the people because of their generosity? And he said to the people who lived in Jerusalem to give the portion due to the priests and the Levites, that they might be strong in the law of Yahweh. As soon as the word spread forth, the sons of Israel provided in abundance the first fruits of grain, new wine, oil, honey, and of all the produce of the field, and they brought in abundantly the tithe of all. Now the sons of Israel and Judah, who lived in the cities of Judah, also brought in the tithe of oxen and sheep, and the tithe of the holy gifts which were made holy to Yahweh their God, and put them in heaps. In the 3rd month they began to make the heaps, and completed them by the 7th month. Then Hezekiah and the rulers came and saw the heaps, and they blessed Yahweh and his people Israel. Then Hezekiah inquired of the priests and the Levites concerning the heaps. And Azariah the chief priest of the house of Zadok said to him, Since the contributions began to be brought into the house of Yahweh, there's been much to eat, and be satisfied with, and have left over. For Yahweh has blessed his people, and this great quantity is left over. Who was in charge of the storing of the tithes and firstfruits? Then Hezekiah commanded them to prepare rooms in the house of the Lord, and they prepared them. They faithfully brought in the contributions, the tithes, and the consecrated things. And Conaniah the Levite was the officer in charge of them, and his brother Shimei was second. Jehiel, Azaziah, Nahath, Asahel, Jeremoth, Jozabad, Eliel, Ishmachiah, Mahath, and Benaiah were overseers under the authority of Conaniah, and his brother Shimei, by the appointment of King Hezekiah. And Azariah was the chief officer of the house of God. Korah, the son of Imnah the Levite, the keeper of the eastern gate, was in charge of the voluntary offerings for God, to distribute the contributions for the Lord and the most holy things. Under his authority were Eden, Miniamin, Jeshua, Shemaiah, Amariah, and Shechaniah in the cities of the priests, to distribute their portions faithfully to their brothers by divisions, whether great or small. Who was listed to receive a distribution of the tithes and firstfruits? In addition, they distributed to the males 3 years old or more whose names were in the genealogical records, all who would enter the temple of the Lord to perform the daily duties of their various tasks, according to their responsibilities and their divisions. And they distributed to the priests enrolled by their families in the genealogical records, and likewise to the Levites 20 years old or more, according to their responsibilities and their divisions. They included all the little ones, the wives, and the sons and daughters of the whole community listed in these genealogical records, for they were faithful in consecrating themselves. How were the tithes and first fruits outside Jerusalem distributed? And for the sons of Aaron the priests, who were in the fields of the common lands of their cities, in every single city, there were men who were designated by name to distribute portions to all the males among the priests, and to all who were listed by genealogies among the Levites. Thus Hezekiah did throughout all Judah, and he did what was good and right and true before the Lord his God, and in every work that he began in the service of the house of God, in the law and in the commandment, to seek his God, he did it with all his heart, so he prospered. Is there a principle in the old tithing law applicable to paying elders who preach and teach? Elders who do their work well should be respected and paid well, especially those who work hard at both preaching and teaching. For the Scripture says, "You must not muzzle an ox to keep it from eating as it treads out the grain." And in another place, those who work deserve their pay. Is there a principle from the Levitical tithes and first fruits that still applies today? You decide.